Hello, Motor Rider World fans, and welcome to Paddock Talk, talking MotoGP Friday at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. My first ever experience of the Red Bull Ring, and I know every race meeting I've gone to this year, Mugello was the best, and Catalunya was the best, and this was the best. I can 100% confirm that the Red Bull Ring is the best venue, spectacle. I know Assen is called the Cathedral of Speed, but this place is just on another level. It is just spectacular from when you drive into the place, when you get into the welcome center, the service roads, the track layout, the viewpoints, the grandstands. The media center is like a penthouse suite. The paddock is just massive. They got two paddocks, the MotoGP paddock, and then the Moto2 and the Moto3 and the Moto E and the Red Bull Rookies Cup paddock on the other side. It is just a fantastic place. It's just blown my mind. As you walk under the tunnel and you come out into the paddock and you're just in this beautiful landscape of this beautiful racetrack in surrounded by mountains, just beautiful green mountains with low-lying clouds, and it was mind-blowing. It really was mind-blowing. My first experience of the Red Bull Ring, a fantastic place. So well done to Austria for having this spectacular venue, and to Red Bull and to everyone, and KTM for being involved in the project as well. It's just a beautiful place, especially to watch motorcycle racing. It was a great day. A lot to talk about today. Big news that was announced, was kind of the worst kept secret, was Tech 3 moving to gas branded bikes from 2023 onwards. So it's KTM's, just rebranded in gas colors. Obviously KTM own gas, same as they do with Husqvarna in Moto3, is just rebranded and bring another manufacturer in. So I think it's going to be a nice fresh approach, seeing these new all red gas bikes. I think it's a great thing to see a bit of freshness come in, but as I said, it's very much rebranded KTM's. Pol Espargaro has been announced as the one rider so far in the team. I know Pit Biro was hinting big time at them trying to keep Miguel Oliveira, trying to offer him a contract to be with the factory gas team. It's not a satellite team, it's a factory outfit. Tech 3 was very much a factory team. I don't think they're going to be able to lure Miguel away from the RNF Aprilia seat, that it looks like he's very much done the deal there. I think the hold up there is, KTM want to drag out that announcement for as long as they can, because for as long as Miguel's a KTM rider, selling branded clothing, the Miguel Oliveira KTM merch, and that once that announcement comes out, that might just all come to a halt. So they're just trying to keep him a KTM rider for as long as they possibly can before they make that announcement. But I think we will be seeing Miguel Oliveira in RNF colors on the Aprilia rather than this new gas Tech 3 KTM in many ways. So who will be the other rider then? The other options, of course, are Remy Gardner, who is still umming and ahhing, whether that's coming from KTM's side or Remy Gardner's side. I think it's a bit of both, maybe. I don't think Remy's, particularly too happy. Is he going to be lured to World Superbikes, maybe, on a Honda or something? He certainly looked at Iker Lecuona, who's looking a lot happier there than he was in the MotoGP paddock. We all know what happened with that relationship. So Remy Gardner is one rider that's being talked about. If they can't secure Remy Gardner, it does look like Augusto Fernandez, who's potentially looking like he could be Moto2 world champion, will make the step up from IO KTM in Moto2 onto the gas MotoGP project, which I think would be good. I would like to see Augusto Fernandez make that move up. He certainly deserves it. If you're going to go win the Moto2 World Championship, you certainly do deserve a ride in MotoGP. That's how it's always been over the years. And this year it looked like for the first time we weren't going to have any riders coming up from Moto2 into the MotoGP class, but that is an option. So those are the two real big names. I know people have said, but what about Darren? And I don't think Darren's got a chance there with that team, to be honest. It's looking more and more likely that Raul Fernandez will take the second RNF Aprilia seat, and that Darren will be looking for a ride in Moto2. Some talk in the paddock is that Darren has got a couple of options that he is already exploring, but at the same time, there's still this talk that the Ralph Fernandez deal isn't 100% done, so they're kind of just dangling Darren there as the alternate for that ride, which is a little bit frustrating, because I know Darren wants to get his future, sewn up, and the longer this delays, the longer it delays his confirmation in Moto2, and so there's still a big question mark around Darren, whether he's got that MotoGP ride or if he will be going to Moto2, but it looks most likely that he could be going to Moto2. Then, the on-track action, it was a Ducati fest, wasn't it? And it was always going to be here at Spielberg, even with the chicane, which has given Fabio Quartararo and the rest a glimmer of hope, and it was only Quartararo really separating the European machines on his Japanese Yamaha. It was all about Zarco, Miller, and Martin. The Ducati is out front, so two Pramac boys. Zarco, again, putting himself right in the mix. He's just got to pull it off in the race now. He can't keep doing this in qualifying and free practices, looking great, still searching for that first race win. So if, there's any place to really do it, it's at a Ducati track, which is Spielberg. Start, stop, pointed, and get them, surging out of the corners, and visibly watching on the side of the track today, those Ducatis just shoot out of those tight hairpins a lot faster than a lot of the other bikes, than most of the other bikes, to be honest. The Aprilias were the only ones that could really match. Fabio certainly has got the corner speed. Fabio is certainly the fastest guy through that chicane. He's got that chicane nailed. Watching there, it was a great vantage point to watch there on the inside, and Fabio is certainly the fastest guy through there. Maverick Vinales, I would say, is a close second through that chicane, and then the power of those Ducatis everywhere else. So it is Zarco, Miller, and Martin, I think, are good bets for the podium as well. Why not? Fabio in fourth place, a brilliant ride there from him. He's going to have a hard time, there's no doubt about it, fighting off those very fast Ducatis and Aprilias, because Maverick was right in the mix as well. But behind Fabio was Pecco Bagnaia. I think Pecco is going to be a good shot for the podium and for the win as well. Then it's the VR46 boys, Luca Marini and Bezzecchi doing a fantastic job putting themselves inside that top 10 again. Bastianini was inside the top 10 on his Ducati, then Vinales, and then, of course, Brad Binder rounding out the top 10, sneaking himself into Q2 for now. So let's hope that he can keep in there. Whether this morning was raining, but it actually dried up pretty quickly, and then we had a beautiful day for the rest of the day. Couple of spots of rain in that FP2 right towards the end, and I know, speaking to Darren, he said it's so hard to commit at a track like this where you're doing 300 k's an hour and then you're jamming on the brakes hard for those hairpins to fully commit on that front end, knowing that if it just washes away, it's washing away 300 kilometers an hour. So little spots of rain, but it didn't really seem to hamper the guys too much. The weather again tomorrow looks like there is going to be rain and sunshine and rain again, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens and unfolds in FP3. But for now, looking good, certainly for Brad. Darren, another learning day for him. FP1 with the wet conditions, had to learn there, and then in the dry, I think did a fabulous job. Ended the day off 23rd, 1.7 seconds off the fastest time, which at a track like this on a MotoGP bike for the first time, I think was really good. He's feeling confident. Still a couple of setup issues. He's still got this new tire at the back that's just pushing the front a little bit too much. He wants a little bit more feel, and he wants to back it in a little bit more, wants a little bit more feel from the rear tire. So there's so much grip coming from the rear that's pushing the front, and it's been a kind of a reoccurring problem the whole year. When the tire is brand new, it just grips so much that it's pushing that front. But a good day for Darren. He's looking upbeat. He's looking like he's gelling well with the circuit. So far this year, his best rounds have been at fast circuits like Catalunya and Mugello, where there's these fast straights and some fast corners. The hairpins visibly looks like he can still find a little bit, maybe braking, maybe holding onto the brake a little bit too long, getting in there. But I thought he looked really comfortable out there, even through the chicane, looked really, really good. So look out for a good day or good weekend from Darren. Let's hope he can just carry on progressing. So that was really much the talk of the town, is obviously all the Ducatis and the European bikes, with Fabio Quartararo throwing his name there on the Japanese bike. The gas deal, and then a big announcement that's coming tomorrow, Saturday, is Carlo Espeleta from Dorna is going to make a big announcement, and it looks like there's going to be sprint races introduced into MotoGP from 2023 onwards. Is this a good or a bad thing? I can see pros and cons to it. Of course, there would be to it. But yeah, I think we're going to delve into that in Talking MotoGP, which we'll do. We can't do Monday night because I am traveling back from Austria to the UK. I can't do it Tuesday night because I'm doing a live chat with our top SA riders taking on the world in the motocross world of things. So it'll have to be Wednesday night, Talking MotoGP Wednesday night, and we'll delve into, how the sprint race is going to work. We'll this exceptional conference that's happening on Saturday. I'll get all the information on exactly how it's going to work in that. And then I think it's going to be a real big talking point for us to delve into on Wednesday. And I'll touch a little bit more upon it tomorrow once this exceptional press conference has happened. But that's pretty much what's going to happen, come out, is that there will be sprint racing going forward. So that is Spielberg Red Bull Ring on a Friday. Fantastic day, beautiful weather. Eventually, after the rain and the thunder showers that happened on Thursday, there was like a hurricane that happened on Thursday, took down a lot of the gazebos at the racetrack, and a lot of MotoGP merch went flying all over the place, and trees were blocking roads, and yeah, it really was a big storm here on Thursday, but calmed down today, luckily, and let's see what the rest of my weekend here in Austria will bring. So stay tuned for Paddock Talk, Saturday at the Red Bull Ring.